What's going on, everybody? It's your guy, Too Real Anime, and today we will be talking about Code's White Karma and why I believe it's so relatable to Shiabai. But before I begin, I want to thank everyone who's joining the video today, and if this is your first time clicking on this channel, I want to thank you very much. And if you're feeling the video by the end of the video, don't forget, give your boy a thumbs up and a subscribe. I highly appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's your guy, Too Real. Let's continue. So, of course, we see in the past few chapters, it was really no mention of Code. I mean, it was, but not necessarily. He's basically preparing his 10-tailed soldiers to attack, in my opinion. But one of the big things that really caught my eye is Ishiki's last conversation with Code, and that was regarding Code inheriting the will of the Osuski. Now, when Ishiki said Code will be inheriting the will of the Osuski, he's telling him you're inheriting all the powers of the Osuski, in my opinion. That's what I feel like he's referring to. Now, of course, we know that Amato scientifically altered Code, Kawaki, and also the procedure to implant the karma. They basically had to put them in bags, the same as Kawaki, in order for them to receive the karma from Jigen at that point. So Code ends up coming up with the white karma, which is basically a non-vessel karma, which means he basically holds the power of an Osuski, but he cannot become a vessel. This is where I feel like a lot of people misunderstood and didn't really think about this at the point in which Momoshiki didn't even recognize it neither. When he seen Code, honestly, I don't think Momoshiki really recognized that Code had that white karma. But I really feel like that white karma is really something that has something to do with Shiabai. And I know what a lot of people are going to think, that how does this have anything to do with Shiabai? Well, of course, as we see with Ada and Daemon, they both have powers of Shiabai, and Amato also took the DNA from Shiabai, basically, and he implanted it into Daemon and Ada. Now, Code, on the other hand, he implanted that into Code also, which Kawaki has Ishiki's full powers in Dojutsu. But who's to say Shiabai didn't have Ishiki's Dojutsu also? I really feel like, in my opinion, just a side note, I really feel like Shiabai really had all the Dojutsu. I really feel like since he basically has the same ring Sharingan that Kaguya has on the top of her head, along with the Byakugan and stuff like that, it just really makes me think this guy has a lot more that basically we haven't seen yet, or, you know, Amato hasn't discussed it yet. But I really feel like Amato held out huge information on Code and the scientific alterings he did to Code's body during the time when Code was in Jigen's care, along with Kawaki. And I believe that's one of the main reasons why Amato cannot be trusted, because he is not divulging any information about Code's white karma any more than what we already seen. And that just brings me to this. Code's white karma is basically a beacon in order to bring back Shiabai. And this is why I feel like Amato has no problem with Kawaki implanting his karma into his daughter. Listen, Amato has been fully okay with that. He's like, well, listen, if you don't want to do it, then that's fine. You know, Amato has shut down codes on Kawaki also, which therefore he can just basically the same way he told Delta her command code to fall asleep, he might have a different command code for Kawaki. And that just brings me to this point right here where I feel like Code's white karma is definitely involved with Shiabai, and I feel like we have yet to see Code's true power without his limiters, because now he has no limiters on him right now. But this will show us a lot that we have been missing, especially the fact that he inherited the Otsutsuki's will, which means he inherited the last of the Osuski's true power, which means Ishiki was basically referring for Code to basically become another Shiabai. Now, we never knew where, at that time when that chapter came out, we never knew where the idea Ishiki had came from. We never knew. We didn't know it was an Osuski god. But when we witnessed the Osuski god, that's literally Shiabai. They're showing us Shiabai in another realm. That's the Osuski god that we see in that chapter. He's showing us Shiabai in a whole nother realm. That's Shiabai without his body. And I believe a lot of people missed out on that in comparison to the actual picture of Shiabai that we seen in the recent chapter of Boruto. It just really all comes together, and it really makes you believe that, okay, Code is definitely going to be the one that basically opens the door for Shiabai. If not, he opens the door for another Osuski. Now, as we've seen in past chapters and in past episodes of Boruto, where Sasuke basically went to the dimension where the Ten Tails were, we seen that there were two Osuski panels that were destroyed, and that, I believe, is one is Shiabai, and I believe the other one is something unknown that we have not yet to see. But I believe that unknown Osuski is definitely a part of Code's White Karma. Either that, or I feel like Shiabai is definitely a big part of Code's White Karma, and I believe that's why Code is so important to the storyline regarding his White Karma. Now, like I said, guys, Code without his limiters, I believe, is very strong. But I believe that they have not yet delved into his full arsenal. I believe Code has a very good art. Like, yo, if they just show Code's full arsenal, because I believe he can do way more than just the belt straps, and he could just do way more than that. He can do way more than that, in my opinion. I believe he can. And along with the claws and stuff like that. But like I said, guys, he has the power of the Osuski, but yet he cannot become a vessel. But I believe if Code had a chance to become a vessel, he would take that in an instant. And that just really brings me to believe that somebody's going to get fed to the Ten Tails. And kind of, it makes me think that it can possibly be either Daemon or Ada, since they're basically whole Osuski at this point. They have the powers of Shiabai, and I believe that if he feeds them to the Ten Tails, that will definitely give him a fruit. I mean, just think about it. Momoshiki was going to feed Kawaki to the Ten Tails, and Kawaki no longer had Ishiki in him. But Momoshiki even said, I mean, listen, it's going to be on the small side, but you can still get sacrificed, my boy. You can still get sacrificed. So that just brings me right to this, man. Nobody is off limits. Nobody's off limits, man. I believe that either Daemon, Ada can definitely get sacrificed. I don't believe that they would just sacrifice Boruto or Kawaki, but I believe if it comes down to it, Ada or Daemon, or possibly Ada, could get sacrificed to the Ten Tails. And that's what could unlock a lot of things, because I don't see Code getting fed to the Ten Tails. Because even if Code gets fed to the Ten Tails, what is going to be done with the fruit? Now I could be wrong, but I have this niche that I feel like a model will definitely try to eat that fruit. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just a theory of mine that I just thought of. But like I said, guys, Code's White Karma definitely has something to do with Shiabai. And I feel like we will hopefully see that in the next few chapters. Hopefully they divulge more about Code's White Karma. This is why I beg and plead that we need an Osuski backstory. We really need an Osuski backstory. We need a Kaguya one-shot. We need something regarding the Osuski, a light novel, anything at that will basically push the story of Boruto forward. But guys, this will be the end of the video. It's your guy, 2Real Anime. And if you felt this video by the end of the video, give your guy a like and a subscribe. I highly appreciate it. It's your guy, 2Real. I'm out.